The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Campin' Out, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys Training Camp on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. And now your host, Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the first, man, this mic sounds weird. Welcome to the first installment of Camping Out of 2022, presented by none other than American Airlines. We appreciate them sponsoring this and letting us be on the air. And we are coming live from Oxnard, California training camp. This is Shannon Gross, and to my left is my homie from back home, from hanging with the boys, Mr. Nathaniel Newton. How you doing, Nate?
And here comes Zeke.
Yeah, so we just started the show. Zeke's going to be doing a live press conference behind us.
Right,
so we might have to be a little quieter than normal.
Yeah, I'm hollering.
Zeke's going to be
What's
coming
up,
right
Zeke?
behind us.
What's up, baby? Good to see you. All right.
There goes Zeke with our PR staff. So we're gonna do this podcast anyway with
Yes, we
Zeke
are.
in the background. So Nate, today, first day of camp, no pads.
None whatsoever, my brother.
What Coach McCarthy calls a mock game, which is what we basically called a walkthrough back in the day. Did you were down there with the big fellas, with the offensive linemen? Did anything? I mean, everybody looks good in shorts and t-shirts, right? Did anything
Yes.
jump out at you? Did you look at anything? Anything?
Just
stand
look
out?
at Tyler, just see where they fit him in at. They trying to say that between him and Connor McGovern is going to be probably a nice little competition. But the question I have coming into training camp, Shannon, is with the limited amount of padded practices, how much will they be physical doing those limited amount of padded practice, and how much inside run, how much team run will they do to get these guys acclimated to hitting again? Mm-hmm. This kid came in a physical kid, a big kid, a good kid, but one thing they say, can he learn to keep his hands inside? Mm-hmm. When he played a little bit at the tackle position, I talked to Brian Broadus, who watched him back in college. He said when he played at tackle, not at guard, his feet wouldn't be as smooth at that left tackle, so now he would tend to use his hands a little bit more out wider. So you don't want to develop or keep that bad habit that he had coming out of college. So I think Coach Philman is working overtime, and all the other guys are working overtime to make sure he keep his hands inside. But he looked okay in practice, and he lost control of his hands a couple of times in practice, but he's working through that.
Yeah, is that something that you can teach? Is that something you can overcome, you can get better at, or is that something that, like, how hard is he going to have to work at doing that?
It's going to be focused. Every time we walk onto the field, it wouldn't hurt if you get enough. Say, hey, man, I'm Shannon Gross. I'm working, hanging with the boys. Can you get your hands inside?
Keep your hands in.
Even when you shake, you kind of go from the inside.
You'd be like inside.
Yeah, inside.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to do my part.
I'm going to do my part too, man. Wow.
What was he taking reps with the second team today?
Oh, they started Connor with the first team, and then after that they started rotating. When they went 2 minutes, I think he started. I'm not sure. I think it was 2 minutes. He started at the left guard, and so I'm looking at him big time, and a few other guys caught my eye, but it was him and maybe Sam, the defensive end out of Mississippi. I was watching him. You know what, man?
What?
I'm a type of guy. I don't get off on other guys and nothing like that. But when you see a guy built as well as this cat, I hate that, man, because I was a fat guy. Mm-hmm. I was a big old fat sloppy guy. And when I see guys like
he looks the part.
Yes, I hope he can play like if he can play like he looked, man, he's a great athlete. He's got a pretty good motor, and like I said, you can't tell much now, man, but everybody's looking good,
Speaking of looking good, Anthony Brown had a pick six during practice. He jumped a curl route, took it back to the house. So
that's
our guy. That's my guy.
That is your guy.
That's my guy.
And you know what I like about this? Some guys have that ability to, when they do something well, you notice how he lit up the whole defense when he got that pick six, and he got it against Dak.
Mm-hmm.
He got against that. They said, I think I asked Chris Beam, our producer. I said, well, who was it against? He said, well, it was against a rookie receiver, so we don't know if maybe he ran the wrong route. I just want to think that Anthony Brown read that thing and took it to the house.
Yeah,
them single digits.
yeah. If he
Changed his number.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. The number change has thrown me off. Because not only do you have guys that have new numbers, you got guys that are wearing, guys that had a different number.
Yeah.
Had that number last year. So like, I think Chauncey Golston, I think somebody's wearing his number that wasn't on the team last year. So I'm all messed up on the numbers, man.
That's why in the first few days, I'll never be the guy who's going to pronounce names right.
Yes,
but
you and my mother.
But I would like for these guys to keep the same number so I at least know who they are when I mess up their names. You know what I'm saying?
At least you get one of the two right.
Right.
Who Jalen Tolbert had a nice little catch in practice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anybody else that really.
But you know
stood
what?
out.
And I know I'm kind of jumping off of guys that did, but I'm telling you, Michael Gallup was working out with Britt Brown today. Injured last year, signed a big off-season contract. Going to be preferably our number 2 receiver when he gets back healthy. We don't know if it'll be the second, third, fourth, or maybe fifth game. But, man, he's over there working hard. He's focused. He's making sure he's doing everything in his power to get back, So just number 13, I mean normally when Shannon comes around, did he even speak to you, Shannon? Did he even acknowledge you?
Who?
Gallup while he was working out. Michael
Yeah,
Gallup.
he talked.
I'm telling you, man, he was focused, man. And so that's just one little shout out, man. Because
What the hell is going on
as an
over there?
ex-player and as a guy now in the media, you have to notice even the guys that are injured, guys that are not practicing, you want to know why, especially early, the first day of practice. So a lot of guys are looking good, man. And you said a young Tolbert, our third or fourth round pick. Did you get a look at our tight end out of Wisconsin?
I didn't see him much. I know that Dalton Schultz, our guy, he's at camp, and he had a nice little catch.
Yes, he did.
And I misspoke. Chauncey Golston, I think he has the same number. I had somebody else confused with him, but yeah, Damone Clark was over on the side working out with Gallup. They were both of them were doing cord drills with Britt. So
I'm thinking that hearing this conversation earlier between Chris Beam and a few other guys, did he change his number so soon?
I think he did.
Yes.
Clark,
Yeah, he's at 33 now.
which is so weird for a linebacker.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Why you don't
I
like
just
it?
don't like
you and
those-
Tom Brady.
I guess I'm old school, man. Like linebackers shouldn't be wearing
50s.
Tony Dorsett's number.
It's so funny.
Like,
'cause
why
you
did
got-
they give anyone Tony Dorsett's number?
Right.
It's funny because, Diggs last year changed from, 27 to 7
Right.
and got all those picks.
Yeah.
So then Lewis and Brown turned to 2 and 3 just so maybe get some more picks.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't get it, man. Well, we'll be doing this show every day that we have practice. Probably about this time. Probably about between 1:30 and 2. And our goal here is if Chris Beam does his job for once, we will have a player or a staff member or an executive or something other than me and Nate on this podcast. We had our good buddy C.J. Goodwin lined up for today, and then they threw this Zeke press conference on us that no one had any idea about, and it's right behind us. That's why we're talking kind of low and we're not
We
screaming.
just got a Golnick on behind us and ask him what happened.
If we could. That's
Yeah.
why we're not screaming and acting like we normally
that's
do.
one thing about media guys. Even they have changed over the years. When Rich Dalrymple, he used to just come say, "Hey, you got an interview." You'd be like, "Well, hold on, who is it with? Don't matter. You got an interview." And back before that, with Tex Schramm, they had numbers to our homes. Hey, I'm
Did
such
they
and such
really?
with the Star Telegram.
Shut up. Did they really?
I'd be like, sir, hold on. How did you get my number? Oh, Tex Schramm gave it to me. What are you going to do? What you going to say to the second man in charge at that point? Mr. Schramm, don't give up my number?
That's crazy. The
Yeah.
media had your personal
Personal
phone number. But y'all
home number.
didn't have cell phones back then.
No.
You had an answering
they
machine.
was come. We had the big G.I. Joe thing, mics.
The set-
You know?
Did you have an answering machine?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Kids these days probably don't even know what an answering machine is.
Bruh, so what everybody would do, we get 2 numbers. They would get their personal home number, and then they would have an answering machine phone number. But I said, you know what? If they call me, I'll talk to them.
That's genius.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty smart.
What's that?
When you don't want to talk to someone, you give them the answering machine number. It goes right to the answering machine.
Wow.
No one picks it up.
But, you know, the thing is, man, these guys today, they understand the value of social media and keeping your brand out there. And this is the #1 powerhouse in the world. Now, it may be some soccer teams got a bigger following than us, but we are it, the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, and so, yeah, I'm with you, Shannon. Hey, we're going to have guests on, and Chris Beam is going to do a super job. Shannon has been a little edgy today. He's been going at everybody pretty rough. So I don't know why I guess it's the first day jitters.
No, I wasn't going at anybody rough. We just had a plan.
Right.
And the plan changed, and I talked to our boss, Derek Eagleton.
Right.
And he treated me like I was one of his children.
Right.
And then he pulled Chris in to treat me like I was one of his children. So then I had 2 dads screaming at me, and I was about to whip both of their asses.
And then I'm calling you on my phone, bothering you.
All I asked is I asked Shannon if he wants to hug it out. He almost hit me.
So what do you looked at the O-line a little bit today.
Yes.
And this is a weird camp because you mentioned it earlier. They're not going to have a padded practice until, I think, Monday. So you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Practice Sunday, Chris? Or they off Sunday?
They are off on Sunday.
So off on Sunday. You got 4 non-padded practice, an off day, and then a padded practice.
Yes.
Which you don't think that's great, right?
Well, due to the fact that even if you don't hit, put on the pads. You know,
feel it.
They call it acclimation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at some point, you go from no pads. All of a sudden, you put on pads Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Why, when you ease into the pads per day, put on the shoulder pads along with the helmets, because they run around with these big old space gadget helmets.
Here comes Zeke.
Yeah. Here comes Zeke.
Yeah. Space gadget helmets.
Bye, Zeke. Take it easy, bro.
I'm thinking.
You just completely threw him off.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of
Answer the question.
He's in the middle of answering the media's question.
Well, they interrupted an hour.
And he just stopped and realized who it was, leaned over and shook Nate's hand, and just kept walking.
But see, what makes me mad is they threw this on us, and Chris Beam, it made Chris have to do extra work. It made you have to do extra work because now, the players of the day, even though Goodwin is a great guy, you don't want to mess him around.
You don't want to tell him no after you already invited him. But you know what?
We get him on Friday.
I'm going to tell you this. Maybe we'll get him tomorrow. Do we have anybody lined up tomorrow?
we do. Should I say?
No, if you don't know for sure.
I know who it is.
Don't do it.
We talked to him about it.
Don't do it.
Oh, yeah. Is that tomorrow?
I think that's tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll
he has it
figure it out.
lined up. He said Oso do it.
Okay. So Osa Odigizua will be joining us.
Maybe I can get him to help me pronounce his name.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Enunciate it for you.
And he said tomorrow.
Well, what happened
Osa's
to
going to go eat, and then come back and see us.
Okay.
So there'll be a nice little gap.
So I need to go eat too.
Yeah,
when
why
he
don't you go with him?
You know what? We can use our outside voice now because the press conference is over.
Yeah.
So let's bring the volume up on this thing.
Hey, hold on.
Let's
You-
just
you-
talk
you
like
hit
we
me.
normally
Okay.
do. I don't have to behave now. Let's go.
Now, let me ask this question.
What? Let's talk.
Is it pronounced enunciate?
It's how you pronounce his name, but then if you put the emphasis on the right syllables, it's called
Right.
enunciation.
Okay,
so it's kind of
good.
But you have a problem with both.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll get him to help you out on both.
Right.
So tomorrow, Osa.
Yeah.
Is he the only-
Osa's tomorrow.
Is he the only guy on the team, him and Dak, that have 3-letter first names?
Wow. That's right.
I wonder if
Yes.
let's fact check that. We got a roster right
Yeah,
here.
that's fact.
What'd you think
Fact
about
check.
Dak today? Did you watch Dak throw?
Yeah, I watched him throw. He was okay.
Yeah.
He was okay. You can tell it's the first day of camp. A little pumped. He overthrew a few guys because be a little pumped.
Yeah.
I mean, guys will tell you they okay, but guys who love this game, that first day you be a little pumped.
Chris, you are wrong. There are 2 more guys that have 3-letter names. Can you guess who they are? Obviously not, because you guessed wrong the first time.
Is there a Ben or a Tim?
No, there is a Sam Williams, and
He's new.
and there is an Ian Bunting. That, by the way,
And he's new too.
no, he's not. He was here last
Yeah, I was
year.
on the practice
By
squad,
the
right.
way, when the tight end room grows their mustaches out, he has the most amazing mustache.
Yeah.
Full handlebars.
For real?
Yes.
I mean, he goes deep into it.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets the wax.
Did you know
and-
that he is very fluent in Spanish?
Does Ambar know that?
I don't know. I just
She
found
needs
out.
to.
I found out at the golf tournament this year. There's Ambar right there. We
Yeah.
can ask her.
You can get her on?
We
Yeah,
could.
Ambar.
you wanna jump on?
hop
Just
on real
quick.
quick?
We want to ask you a question real quick.
Did you know Ian Bunt? Yeah, get on.
Come on,
here.
yeah.
Come on.
This is a freestyle show.
Yeah.
This is exactly how it's supposed to be. This
We
is
have
camping
no
out.
programming. We have no time limit. We have
Yeah.
no
Camping out.
commercial breaks.
Yeah.
We have
Thank
no
you, Miss
format.
Ambar.
We just like to flow. Hey, Ambar, how
Is
are
it
you?
just you two?
It's just
Yeah,
us two.
and me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Chris.
and Chris over
We'll
there.
let Chris be a part of this. Did you know that Ian Bunting speaks fluent Spanish?
I do.
Okay, have you used him for anything? Ambar, by the way, Ambar Garcia, for those of you that don't listen to all of our stuff, they have a Somos podcast with you. Who's on it now? You, Victor?
Me, Victor Villalba, Carlos Nava, and then occasionally Luis Fernando Perez, which they do all our Spanish broadcasting on game days.
Okay. And then you're also part of some other crappy podcast that's on the Dallas Cowboys radio
Oh,
network.
well, I
What's it
hear the
called?
#1 show.
What's it called?
On DallasCowboys.com is what I hear.
What's
what
it
I've
called?
been
What's
told.
the name of it? Yeah, it doesn't
Cowboys
matter.
Break.
It doesn't matter what the name of it is. Jabroni.
That gap's getting smaller.
Hey, Presley, Audrey, how are y'all? Y'all going to lunch?
How y'all doing, ladies?
Are y'all going to eat?
They're just killing time over here.
We're going to get y'all on the show at some point this week, so get ready. All right. So, what'd you see today? Were you impressed with it? It was kind of boring, wasn't it? To be honest with you.
Yeah, not really much happening. I saw an intercepted pass. That's what.
Right.
I saw that for sure.
By a guy with a new number, which was weird.
Yeah.
Was he 3 now? Is that right? 3?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Honestly, not much other
Yeah.
than just seeing them out there moving around and, getting their bodies warmed up and all that. I'm ready for some training camp fights that always happen, with O-linemen and defensive linemen. No, but I said earlier on the show, I'm looking forward to watching the kicker.
Yeah,
Okay.
Garibay, right?
I'm looking to see because, and I said it earlier. Listen, Nate, they're relying a lot on young guys with not much experience, and they're just fully trusting that it's gonna work out all the way around.
In high pressure positions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you fired the kicker at the beginning of the year last year, so you're probably welcoming this kicker, right?
I'm welcoming to watching what they can do in this camp because they're betting all their stuff on these young guys with no much experience. So I don't know what they're seeing that I'm not.
I just think that they think we're gonna win games by double digits. That's what they have to be thinking.
They're not gonna need the kicker.
They're not gonna need a kicker.
We'll
Now
see.
we all us three know better, but we just gotta
For
sell
McCarthy's
something.
sake, I hope. they
Yeah,
do.
we need a NFC Championship game this year, fellas and ladies.
It's one thing I've never been to.
Yeah, same.
Let me ask you,
I've been to a Super Bowl.
Ambar, this right here. The way that Mr. Jones opened up the press conference, kind of on a serious note, letting us know that Coach McCarthy is his man at this point, and the way he spoke about he would like to see players fulfill their contracts, not only on the field but off the field. What did you read into that? Because a lot of us read a lot of things. What did you read into those comments by Mr. Jones?
Well, we heard the comments that he made of the players that left and all
Right.
that, and that I guess it is what it is because here's the thing: we've seen players that have been here
Right.
with issues,
Yes.
but they've stuck with them.
Right.
So there was a lot more than just like you didn't get the vaccine or you didn't
Right.
you weren't available this day to practice. There has to be a wider thing, a bigger thing that we are not a part of finding out because again, they've had guys here that have had other issues and they stay quiet and they keep them on, until it's resolved or whatever. So I don't know. At this point, you have to keep supporting Mike McCarthy. You decided to stick with him, go with him for this year, so you have no other choice than to stand up here and say, hey, this is the guy, because you made him the guy, and that was your decision. So we'll see. And I said it earlier on the show, I don't think that anybody here, as far as players or other coaching staff members, have not been supported, or like
Right.
Mike McCarthy has not lost their support.
Right.
It seems like the players are all in with him.
Yes.
So at least we're not seeing that kind of
Drift away. Point.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
which we
ma'am.
saw a couple of years ago on the defensive side of the ball. You know,
Right.
when the defense was playing terrible, and
Right,
then Mike
right.
Nolan, players were starting to become divided from the coaching staff. So I don't think that's happening yet, and I'm curious to see how it all plays out this year to
Right.
see if there's some kind of improvement and what this amazing young talent is gonna be able to do this year.
Now, she used amazing young talent. Amber, we only seen him in T-shirts and shorts. Why are you throwing the amazing? Look, you just put a lot of weight on these young kids' shoulders by calling them amazing. You
Me?
ain't even seen them do nothing.
The Dallas Cowboys are doing that.
Okay, all right.
They're the
okay,
ones who
all
are
right.
relying on
I
them,
get
not
that.
me. I would have hired some veteran guys. Spend some of that money that you decided to
That
save.
dry powder. That dry powder.
You know the way I took the opening press conference? You
What
and I
was
were
that?
standing there
Right,
watching it together,
right.
right? And they talked about, Mr. Jones talked about availability. And you and I were talking, and you leaned over and you whispered, "Can I say this on the air?"
Yeah. So yeah.
'Cause
we can.
unlike you, I will ask you if I can say things on the air.
Yeah, I do
that
speak.
are
He just
said
says
in
it.
confidence. So you leaned over and you said, "He's talking about Amari." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "You know what else? He's talking about Lyle. He's talking
Yeah.
about Randy."
Yes.
So I wonder if you remember several years ago, and I think it started with DeMarcus Ware, when they had a shift in philosophy where they didn't sign guys that were super loyal to the team just to keep them around. They started making money decisions, and it was like DeMarcus wanted big money, and it was like,
Right.
"We love you, but you're injured. Like,
Right.
love you, come back and retire, but you got to go," right? It was kind of a shift in philosophy because they'd always kept those guys around before. I wonder if this past year they realized that we got a lot of money tied up in these three guys, and we don't know if we can count on them to be there on game day, and they're in key positions, right? And it might have cost them some wins, or it might cost you some wins down the road. I wonder if this is kind of a shift in philosophy, like, hey, you got to be the total package. We got to be able to count on you. You got to be available. You got to be good at your position. Like, if that's just kind of a change in the direction they're going.
You know, Shannon, and that should have been always how you felt about it. This year here is the only person that survived this purge was our left tackle. He's the only guy that survived the purge. And that just goes to show you that he's still a valuable commodity in their mind, and in mine too. You know, if I could just say, "Hey, Kate, get hurt in the first 6 games so we can have you," you know what I'm saying? The last half of the season, but that just shows you they felt good about the wide receiver position. They felt good about what they got in the draft, and Terrence Steele being the permanent right tackle. And I hope they're going that way and not swinging him, because I think that takes away from him. So they felt good about that. And so here we sit, and Randy Gregory, since we were talking about it, I knew some of the times where Randy was when he wasn't on the field for the Cowboys, which I'm not going to explain that. But he was in some bad places, and the Cowboys stuck with him. So for the first time, I'll say this against the player, I understood why they wanted the guarantee. I understood totally why they wanted the guarantee, because this year, you didn't play for us, but we maintained a relationship with you. So this is one of the few times I'm going to say, yes, Randy, I'm glad you got your money with Denver, but yeah, the Cowboys stuck with you. And I knew some places it wasn't nice to be.
Yeah. And look, I love Randy. I love him off the field. I like what he did. Your light blew out.
Right.
I like what he did.
It was for me, the dark skin guy.
Was
Don't
it?
worry about
You toned it out. I like what he did. I loved him off the field. I like his potential. I like where he's going on the field. But, I mean, if you look at his numbers, they weren't just like jump out at you like, oh, my God, we got to sign this guy. Like, I wanted him to be here just for personal reasons, because he'd love to do stuff with us on social media. And him and the Basham wine after wins thing was awesome. But, like, I don't know how much your production's going to dip with him gone. And I'm interested to see why they were comfortable letting him go. I'm interested to see why they were comfortable letting Amari go. Like I'm with you, Amber. I think there might be some things you don't know about behind on field in the meeting rooms during the practices that just hasn't gotten out yet about why some of these guys were gone. Like it's hard for me to believe it was you just let guys go for nothing in return. But I guess we'll see.
I'm gonna tell you something. One thing you can count on to be true, because in everything, this is not only in sports, this is in important positions in the walk of life. Availability. If I know you're gonna be there every day, I know what your production gonna be. Mm-hmm. But if you're not gonna be there, you only have 18 of these a year. Yeah, and you guarantee me that you're not gonna be there for 6 of them.
Did we add a game?
Yes.
18. We're at 18 now.
No, we're at 17.
Excuse
We're
me,
17.
Jesus, you
17.
can't pronounce names. You
They-
can't
they want-
enunciate.
they
You
want- I'm
can't
sure they want to
add.
add a
What
couple
in
more
the
games.
hell?
It's a guarantee.
Why we even have you on this
you
show?
know what? It's a guarantee, Miss. It's a guarantee that
You
we
forgot her name. Her name's Amber or Amber, however you want to say it. Whichever one you can say easier, Nate. Because we know you
Amber.
struggle with that.
Amber. It's guaranteed we're going to the first round of the playoffs. It is almost guaranteed
Is
we're
it?
going home.
You heard it right.
Oh,
Whoa.
whoa! You didn't let him
I'm
finish.
just saying. That's why I said 18. This is like we can get to the first round.
Okay, so Nate's guaranteeing that 18th
We
game.
can be 18-0, baby.
I have a question for
17
you
and 1,
guys,
Dang.
and there's no two better people on this staff to ask other than you, because Amber, you probably spent the most time out of anybody with this guy, and Nate, you probably know more about the position. I hope you know more about the position than any guy on the staff. Isaac, how do you pronounce Isaac's last name?
Alarcón.
Alacon. From what I hear, he's crazy strong. Like, he's a strong human. And even in the world of offensive linemen, I've heard that he's really strong. Is there any chance he graduates into a starting role on this team, or is he just kind of do you think he's a backup player? Do you think he's just a project? What do you guys think about him?
Well, he actually transitioned to guard now, so
Okay.
he's not really.
There you go,
a
inside
tackle.
info. That's why we got you on the show.
I guess they're practicing him at guard now.
Okay.
And from last time I spoke to Will McClay, which was a couple of months ago, before obviously we got here, he said that he's at a really good position. Like, he's learned a lot, and that's essentially what you look in a player like that, especially an international player, is that growth. And he's grown a lot, but now he has to be able to seamlessly apply what he has learned on the practice field into a game where, he has the strength, like you said, but he now needs to know exactly, okay, this is my guy, and be more aware of things that are currently happening, with so many moving pieces in the game. But he's at a point where now this is weird to say, but when you talk about football internationally, it's a different level. So now he's at a level where rookies are at when they come in.
Gotcha.
So he's there to where now this is a year where he will be fighting and battling against rookies. Sorry.
So
They brought me in
the
here.
competition, the number one show on the Dallas Cowboys network, just walked by. Yeah. And the number 3 show, Kyle Yeomans is in the group with Derek and Nick Eatman, and because we borrowed Ambar for a few minutes, they're walking by like, what are you doing, Amber? Why are you on their show? What's going on? So yeah, we borrowed her. We'll give her back. We just wanted to get some info from her. So, and that was good info.
I'm trying out other podcasts just in case. I gotta keep my options
There you
open.
go.
There it
There you
is.
go.
Giving this one a try.
Yes, sir.
Just in case she gets cut, we
Yeah.
gotta keep, see,
Wow.
put some
Hey.
feelers out there.
Yes, sir. We love y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoy lunch.
What Miss Ambar is saying, what she is saying, and what I saw a little bit on film last year, some cuts I saw of him, the game has not slowed down for him. The game is still going 1,000 miles an hour. So when a guy make a sudden move,
Freaks out.
it freaks him out.
Yeah.
I've been there. I was so happy the USFL came because it gave me a little higher level. Because when the Washington football team got rid of me, it gave me a little bigger platform.
What'd you just say? I'm proud of you. What'd you
The
call
Washington
them?
football team. I'm not going to call them the Commodores or the Commanders
But
or
no,
the Arrowheads.
But you usually call them their original name, and you've actually got that under control this
so
year.
it took
I'm
me
very proud of you,
It
Nate.
took me 2 years to get to the football
Okay.
team. It took me another 2 years to learn their real name. Anyway, the lady's stealing potato chips. Hey, get her. Anyway, no, I don't want one. But the game needs to slow down for him. You know, I see the coach saying, hey, you did well. Just did. And, you know, I see him talking to him, like, trying to walk him through it. I'm like, I was there. I've been there. But the coach, you know, but the coach wasn't as nice as Coach Phil must be. My coach be like, you son. You know, hey, but anyway.
And you just
They
fixed
can't-
that over
Yeah.
time, right?
Yes, but I had a chance to play in the USFL for 2 years and playing against better competition than college. So when I came back to the NFL, the speed slowed down real quick for me.
And that's just reps, right?
Yeah, they just reps and get in the game. See, we asking these kids, Tyler, Sam, Tober, all of these guys, to go from 0 to 90 miles an hour. I'm talking about not the preseason. That's only 35 miles an hour, 45 miles. But I'm talking about going 100 miles an hour going into a game. Tom Brady, the Bengals. That's a different level.
And remember, this guy, I mean, he played for Monterey Institute of Technology.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Remember, the first year he was here, there was no preseason.
Right.
So he didn't get in a game.
Right.
He just practiced the whole year.
Right.
So he's only had really 4 games of collegiate and professional football.
In this game,
In a way, right? Because I don't think Monterey is playing,
Yeah.
Wow.
Alabama. Let's be honest with you.
You
So he's young. He's only 24 years old. So
he's only 24.
He's only
Today's his
24.
birthday,
Looks like he's-
actually.
Really?
Yes.
he's 24 years old.
He looks like he's 35.
Yeah, he's 24 years old. So he's really young.
Not in a bad way. He
And
just
to be
looks
honest with you,
older.
they extended him this year to that 91st spot. So this year he only supposed to do 2 years of that. And I think because he didn't do they didn't do preseason during the COVID year, they gave all those guys
extra
that
year.
came in
An
that
extra.
year an extra year,
Gotcha.
so they can get those more reps and get those 8 preseason games in, or actually it's gonna be 7.
Yeah, we were talking about this, I think yesterday in the lunchroom. One of our guys, Thomas Blakey, that's on our creative video staff. He went to high school with I just went blank. Running back, fourth string running back. Give me the sheet. Why don't I just go blank? on
Dowdle?
running backs? Yeah, Rico. They went to high school together, and he hadn't seen him since high school. And he was talking about how much of a badass he was in high school, and here Rico is struggling to make an NFL roster, and just the level of competition. Like, you can be an all-district, all-state badass at high school, and then even in college you can struggle to make an NFL roster. So good for Isaac for hanging around. I call him Alex all the time. I don't know why.
Isaac.
All right, what do y'all want to talk about before we leave? We got like 2 minutes.
You know, I just thank you, Miss Ambar, for, standing up to those guys on your regular team.
Not letting them push you
Yeah,
around.
Keep your options open. You keep your eye on the kicker, because I am not, okay? And glad to have you.
Well, you know what? We're going to bring you back every once in a while to give us updates throughout camp on just the kicker position.
Yeah, I mean,
I want you to
Nate,
keep a tally. How many he misses, how many he
it's
makes.
been several years,
How far?
and that's exactly what Nate every time. And that was back a couple of years ago, a few
right.
years ago, when I would say my concern is not the kicker, because they're not even scoring touchdowns. So they need to get in the end zone,
Right.
score 6 points first before you even complain about getting that extra point or a field goal. So that was my issue before. Now we're past that point. But
We graduated
yes,
past that.
we'll keep track of what the kicker is doing and
Right.
see
All right.
if there's
So
any kind of improvement.
Every day
Yes,
you do distance, how many they make and how many they miss, and then you come back every 3 or 4 shows and give us an update and whether we should
She's
be
gonna
worried
go
this
cheat.
year or
She's
not.
gonna go talk to Henry before she comes over
Yeah,
here.
and that's fine too. That's
Henry
fine too.
Soroka.
We just need to update every once in a while. Maybe we'll get him on the show.
I have to go through Will.
Yeah.
Let's get
Okay.
Will on the show.
Yeah, we'll get
first.
Will on the show. Well,
Yeah,
Amber,
we got him last year, so.
thanks for
thank you for
joining
having
us.
me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for
Thank
hanging
you.
out with us for a little bit on a show that actually likes to have fun and doesn't just act like they're hardcore football all the time.
Yeah.
So we like to have fun. And this show was a little weird because we weren't able to start off like we normally do. and really get in a rhythm because we had Zeke interrupting us behind us. But we promise you,
How dare he?
Nate and I will bring it every day from now on. We will bring it, and Chris will bring it as well.
Yes.
We'll have players, staff, all kind of crazy stuff. You never know who we will grab and put them on our podcast. But that's our promise to you while we're doing this Camping Out show brought to you by American Airlines, that we will bring it every single day to the best of our
Why are you
ability.
holding your boobs?
I am
because
I'm very passionate about this. And I feel it in my bones and my heart. So
I fly American.
you don't fly. Don't lie to the people.
When
When's the
I
last
fly,
time you flew?
Been a while. I fly.
See, he doesn't fly. He drives.
I do fly.
Which we got to talk about.
I gotta go
We got to talk about
23,000
the drive.
The
We
drive.
really do need to talk about
We'll
the
talk
drive.
about the drive tomorrow because we got to update the people on your driving and your group text that started at 10:30 at night and didn't stop until 5 o'clock the next day.
12 o'clock the next day.
Nate's gonna get me a divorce. that thing comes up, and goes ding. My wife's like, "Who's texting you at 10:50?"
Booty call.
I'm like, it's just Nate. He's leaving the house.
Yeah.
He'll be in New Mexico about 7.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
All right, Nate. Thanks for bringing it.
Thank
Amber,
you.
thank you for
Thank
being
you.
on
Thank you,
with us.
thank you.
Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. American Airlines, thanks for letting us do this show while we
And
were
I
out here and
fly
sponsoring us. And we will be back tomorrow. We don't really know the time, somewhere in the neighborhood of where we were today, but we will be here every day we have practice from now until the end of training camp. Tune in to the People Show, Camping Out.
Thank you.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?